Oh, the 1st of October. What a gorgeous time to be in the woods. This is the opening of Michigan's bow season, October 1st. A lot of people write to me and call and they say, where could I go hunting? Not on state land, because I really don't know exactly what I'm doing, but is there a place I could go to rent a blind somewhere? Well, there are a few places like we're hunting here this week. This is Vic Werp's Dry Hole Club in Alcona County. 360 acres he owns, and he has blinds set throughout the woods here. And there's names to these blinds set in specific locations. This is the blind that we were hunting yesterday, opening day. Now, John was in a different blind because we wanted to be real quiet, better our chances of getting a deer. But this is the kind of blind that you're going to get if you go to one of these clubs where it's hunt for hire. It's a permanent blind. Some people would say, this really isn't hunting. But now let me take you through a tour of this and show you the situation. Now, the blind here, of course, this is all solid construction. It has a metal roof, even has little eaves over the windows here to keep the rain out, and it keeps this blind dry. The real beauty of this is, if you look at the construction here, this is a wooden floor with carpeting, very solid, so we can walk around in here and not make any noise. Let's just look around here at the windows, John. This is the prime window where we shoot out of for archery and gun hunting later on in the season. This is the window. See, the blind is elongated so you can have room to draw your bow inside here, but there are windows all around. Now, as I step in here, just take a look at the floor here. Set my bucket down. Normally, if I was in the woods, I would hunt sitting on this bucket right here. But look at this floor. You can see this is totally quiet. There's no creaking. It was built this way with a lot of solid underpinning here. And that makes it quiet when you move around in the blind. Why don't you come in, John? Show you, this is where we hang the bow. Now here's another nice thing. A carpeting strip by this 2x4 so I can hang the bow up there like that, and it can bump against here and really not make any noise. So if I see a deer, I can just lift it right off, get ready to shoot. Now, these are the little windows you see. These are on sliding panels. This is for you do-it-yourselfers that want to make a blind like this. This can be real quiet, too, for opening and shutting a window. Not much noise to it. We'll open these up on both sides. So there's lots of viewing. Here's a little slot right here you can view. But there's one chair right in the back, and you can sit in the back of this blind on the chair, look through these windows, look out the front to spot any deer. There's enough room on the ceiling. Of course, this is all dry in here, which is great, but there's room in the ceiling so you can draw your bow back. You have plenty of room, no problem. But mainly you shoot out the front window. So you're sitting in here watching for deer. Now, what are the pros and cons of a blind like this? Well, obviously, one of the pros is that you can settle back in there and have a snooze now and then if you want to. You can stay in the blind all day long, and that's a real beauty of it. Get here before daylight and stay until dark. Bring some food with you. You could even heat some things up. If it really gets cold, you can have a little heater. Oh, listen, it's raining. Oh, beautiful. We're dry, and a lot of times the deer move when it's raining. A number of deer are taken, well, at least in the sprinkles like this. The deer I got last night, I don't want to get too far to the end of the story, but it was when it was sprinkling. So the problem with a blind like this, though, is that it's permanent, and you're going to have to bring the deer to you. John, if you can swing around here, swing around to this side, this is mainly where we're shooting at here, and you see what we have? There are several things here that attract deer to this area. In a blind like this, the deer have to come here because the blind is not set up along a runway. It's set up in a natural area where the deer move. But that bait pile out there is a subject of some controversy among hunters. Let's go out and take a look at it. I'm going to swing this door shut just so it looks a little better. Now, this is what the deer sees, and this is what is attracting the deer to the area. But there's three things here going for this. This is a big open plains. You can see the oak trees here, a lot of oak trees. There's maple and oak mixed. But these oak trees bring the deer in because they cruise through here for the acorns. We'll also have turkeys and squirrels going for these acorns. Another thing, this is a rye field. Now, it's only about 30 feet in diameter, but this is rye that's planted here, and to some degree, the deer come in and nibble on this rye. They like this greenery, but there's a lot of that in the woods, but it does help attract the deer to this opening. And here's the other thing. oftentimes controversial, using bait for deer. Well, what are you going to do to bring a deer to a blind like this? This bait, Vic Werp supplies corn, carrots, and apples. All of them favorite foods of deer. Not only do you see deer out here, but all through the day, squirrels, blue jays, all kinds of birds come and feed on this. It provides quite a lot of entertainment. This is the distance from the bait pile to the blind. Now, actually, the deer that I got, in fact, I got a deer and a squirrel yesterday, were another 10 yards that direction, so I had a 20-yard shot. But that's what the deer sees. Let me jump back in the blind, John, and I want you to see if you can see me through that hole in the blind. When I get in the blind, John will be able to see me because my face is not camoed. You don't have to wear, it's another great thing about a blind like this, you don't have to wear a lot of camo because you're fairly well hidden. But if I had a deer out in front of the blind, I'd take my bow off like this, and John, just say, John, it's where the deer is. You can see me, you can see my face in here as I draw back and as I move, but it's kind of difficult for the deer to see in a way. I'm going to show you how I can make it more difficult. One thing I can do. Now, John, watch this, because I'm going to shut the windows and watch what happens. Now you see it's very difficult to see me in this blind. Now that makes it a lot easier for me to slip the bow off and maneuver in position for a shot. But these windows being on slides, being very silent, you can slide them back even when a deer is approaching. Now that we have the blind dark, you can see me when I get up close to the front, looking out, so you want to be careful if you do this in the blind like that. Also, you know, a camouflage glove and camo on your face could help a little bit, but the deer normally don't see it. But there's one way that a deer will see. This is a principle of hunting in a blind. You don't want to open this window back here. That back window, that allows a deer to easily see your silhouette right through the blind. So you don't want to have this window open while you're hunting. But there are some real advantages to a blind like this. One thing is you can adjust these windows. You don't have to open them all the way, just a little bit, enough to peek out, maybe on both sides, and that's what I do, just a little peek hole, because you're really waiting for the deer to be in front of the blind. Now, what about your scent? Well, the wind was blowing from the west towards us, and I'm really not concerned about the deer behind us. I can't see him anyway. There's all this area out in front where the deer can't smell a thing. But a blind like this is an advantage when it comes to scent. Just say we set off a smoke bomb in this blind to see how our scent would go. Basically, if there's any wind at all, it's going to go up because a structure like this creates a low pressure area with the breeze blowing by it, and the scent would go up. But the scent that leaks out, you can see, doesn't go all over the woods. So that's one advantage. Another thing is you don't have to wear camo clothes. I mean, I'm wearing blue jeans. You could even wear, frankly, blaze orange in here, and it wouldn't make much difference because the deer couldn't see. By the time the deer comes across, you can get a shot. Now, what happened on opening day? At 7:15, 2 deer came in. One of them was a buck. I thought it was a spike buck, but I shot, made a good shot. We tracked it last night. Here, oh, there we go.
Oh, there she is.
Oh, all right. Oh, my God. Oh, no kidding.
Oh, nice deer.
Oh, I thought it was a spike. It's a forkhorn.
Beautiful deer.
Oh, all right, Frankie.
Congratulations.
My man.
Congratulations.
Oh,
Beautiful deer.
boy, that thing went a long ways.
Real long ways.
Frank Green from Rochester helped me track this buck, which probably ended my bow hunting for the season. While the DNR allows hunters to buy tags to take multiple deer, you have to buy your tags in advance to maximize your opportunities. I didn't do this, and I had to use my either deer tag on this buck. So my bow hunting, in all probability, is over for the season. But I tell you, it was great while it lasted.